What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Traffic in the Slot. Got a two-parter today, two hosts, just deucing it up. How you doing today, guys? How you doing, Paul?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
Missing a little Connor, but we'll do a
Yeah,
little things without him with his
we'll
permission.
rough
So
sketch through. It's fine, He doesn't have to
yeah,
drive the boat all the time. We have
dude. Yeah,
opinions, too.
we all have lives, man. We all are stuck at work, so we all have lives.
Exactly, yeah. Work comes first, at least for now, until we can,
Yeah,
make something of this.
yeah. So we'll talk about the all the questions at the True Avalanche page. Shout out to Nancy for that.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot,
shout out
Nancy.
to Nancy and
And
those true
thank you
Avalanche.
for everyone that participated in asking the questions. And we're gonna get to two of them today because we want Connor in here mostly, but
Yeah,
Hodge, we talked about the two things we're going to talk about today is the Makar contract and the
yep,
goaltending
be the big one.
situation, which is said a couple of times in the comments in that post that Nancy wrote.
Mhm.
And we'll answer. We'll stay on those two topics right now, and then we'll wait for our Connor to get back, and we'll dive into the rest of them
Heck
pretty
yeah.
deep, getting to know us, stuff like that. People want to ask us scenario questions. We could do all that, and we will. But
Mhm. Yeah,
we'll
we're
start with the
also
Makar.
yeah,
Right?
let's go ahead.
We'll
Get
start with
started
Makar.
with Makar, get
Yeah.
this one taken out. I know it's the big one that everybody's been having on the
Yeah.
top of their minds for ever since the end of last season. It's been the
Yeah.
driving force, if you will, and the news circuit for Colorado, like what's going on with Makar. So let's go ahead and dive into it and see where we're at. So you were telling me before we started that Friedman had posted up something, and so we'll kind of dive into there, and then let's get our
Yeah,
opinion.
Elliot Freeman posted that the Makar camp, and I posted on the True Avalanche page last night when I saw it. And actually, Connor was the one that told me about it when we were talking last night about what we're going to be doing this week.
Right.
And I actually saw the post, and he said Connor was really the one that reported it to me. And he
Right.
said
Right.
Elliot Freeman did say that the Avalanche, that the Makar camp and Colorado are in negotiations currently.
Hmm.
And it's not about the money. The money
Right.
seems to be in place. It's the term.
Right.
So we're going to see how long he's going to be for this contract itself. So, you and I, we have a couple of say we talked about this before in recent
Yeah.
podcasts, but we're going to answer the question so they don't everyone has to go crazy looking for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um,
We also got with this little bit of new information, we've realized like with the money being right as the term. So I personally think that we might have been a little incorrect on the money with 18.5. I think is where we kind of all settled at. Um,
yeah.
he's probably going to get 20. It's
If
I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised.
right.
20.
If we go the see, this is the thing with the scenario with the because all the question really was, what do
Mhm.
we think he's going to get? So we're going to say all that. I was projecting. It changes all the time, I guess, for me to say.
Yeah.
We got the yeah, because like if he goes because we talked about this, if he goes 5 years,
Hmm.
he'll be 31 or 32 at the end of that contract.
Yeah.
Cap's gonna be from here to Jupiter.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. Going up
he can
every
make
year.
like 20, yeah, he'll probably make 25 or $26 million a year for the next contract. So basically I
Mhm.
have a feeling that a lot of these contracts are going to be because the cap's gonna be going up so much, Hodge, that I think
Yeah.
like all these star-studded players like
Yeah.
Cale Makar is going to take like a 5 year and then he'll re-up,
Yep.
with the team. I'm sure I think Kale is going to be a lifer for
Oh
Colorado.
yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
100%. Yeah.
I
No
can't
matter
see him
what.
just going anywhere, dude. I really think
Exactly.
he's one of those guys. Him and McKinnon, and I think Landy will be the original three that will always be with the team, and they're just going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna be the new foot Sakic and Forsberg kind of guys.
yeah, yeah, totally, dude. And I don't know. I just if to answer their question, everyone's question, if he goes 5 years, he's
Hmm.
going to take less money to help the team with
Right.
salaries. If he goes the full 8, you're looking probably close to 20 million, if not 20,
Yeah.
for 8 years. So that being said, I don't know. I mean, if they have the money already in place
Hmm.
and they haven't figured out the term yet, it probably will only be like a 5-year deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised, if they well, I guess here's the big breakdown, right? Is where do we think Makar's head's at, right? Is he like you were saying, right? Does he wanna do kind of a team-friendly thing because they're right at the end of that window? It's finally starting to close up a little bit, so
Yeah.
does he wanna make that last push like where McKinnon's at, which, that's another driving force of a factor, if you will,
Mhm.
to you wanna, make it a more of a team-friendly deal to try and get the most out of those last, we'll say, 3 to 5 years to try and get that next cup because they know that, after that, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
bit of a wash, or is he just like, "Hey, I'm gonna be the focal point at this point," eh, and so, the money's gotta be comparative to that. I
Right.
think with the way these guys play, the way that we've, heard people talk and in the rumor mills and throughout the news circuit and everything like that, these guys are hell bent on getting another cup. Like that's priority number one for the whole team, whether it's, management, front
Yeah.
office, the players, whatever. Everyone's fueled for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the money's sitting at, you know, 18, 18.5,
Yeah.
and he's just trying to figure out if it's worth it to take a pay cut for a few years to get through this window and then end his career. 'Cause like you're saying, yeah, he'd be 32 at the end of 5 years. After that, it's 6-year contracts are the max, right? If I'm remembering correctly?
After September 15th, right
Mm,
now they could sign any player right now could sign for 8 years with any if they wanna re-up their contract. After September 15th, the new CBA kicks
mm,
in, and
yeah,
it's 7 years.
7 years, okay.
Yeah. So, the max you could sign is for 7 years after that, after September
Yeah,
15th.
so then he would finish his last contract at 40,
Yeah.
basically.
Like, if he signed at 32, if he signed, like, a 7-year after that, I mean, he'll
Yeah,
probably sign, like, maybe, like, a 3 or 4 year at 32 years old.
right.
But, all these the players, all the
Mhm,
positional players, like forwards, they could they could get into their prime, like, in their early 20s, depending on who they are.
right, yeah,
Forwards are different, it's weird, like, defensemen they usually peak between 28 and 32 years old. That's, like, their
yeah,
peak. That's their best years of their career. I mean, and we're talking about Cale Makar, his best years are still maybe ahead of him
right,
in
yeah,
a
he's,
couple of
like,
years.
just jumping into the
Yeah.
cusp of that
Yeah, now
peak stuff.
goaltenders are the same way. Goaltenders are between, like, 27 and, like, 32, 33.
Yeah,
Even, like
goaltenders are the weirdest ones because like, they are the late bloomers. They don't really start
right.
peaking until their
But
late 20s and, like, really hit
you
their
get
prime.
guys yeah, exactly, dude, but you get guys like Vasilevsky, who comes
Mhm,
into the league, Shesterkin,
yep,
Lundqvist, like, all these guys that were in, like, their 24, 23, 24, and playing, like,
mhm.
already in their prime. Those are guys you just don't get. That's why Vasilevsky's still on Tampa.
Right, yeah. Well,
He
I mean, we'll touch on this more in detail because of one of the questions we were asked, but, like, even with Patrick Waugh, like, his first 4 years in the league, he stole
yeah,
the job. He got,
mhm,
what, 2 Conn Smythes and 2 cups
mhm,
before he was 26
yeah,
or before he was 30.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it all
and
depends with that. Goalies are different.
yeah,
Goalies usually
they're
peak between 28 and 32. It's the same thing as defensemen, but forwards are different. But that's why
mhm,
defensemen are so hard, and there's so many good defensemen in this league, Hodge. Like
yeah.
even
Oh,
guys who won't put up numbers like Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes and Zach
yeah,
Rowinski. All those three guys I think are at the top. But even like Heiskanen from Dallas
mhm.
is just he's a beast. We would have
Yeah,
picked him if Cale Makar got picked before us, because
yeah,
Dallas had the pick before us. We would have picked
yeah,
Heiskanen.
exactly.
Okay, so
He's gonna
he's
sure.
one of my I love Heiskanen. I don't like, of course, Dallas is our rival and stuff, but there's a lot of there's guys on
Yeah,
Dallas that I do like. Jason Robertson's one of them.
Jason
Stankoven
Roberts,
was one of them that went to
Stankoven,
Colorado.
yeah, I even like Maverick Bork, and
Me
so
too.
happy
Yeah,
he got traded to
yeah.
Nashville. It's
I mean, I still like Rantanen. I don't care. Rantanen's
yeah,
cool. I mean, he's a top 10
he's a
player in the world,
great
dude. He's
player on the
been
ice.
awesome.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, but no, like, with the trying to wrangle us back to Makar,
Yeah.
yeah. I think 5 years, like, we keep talking about this 5-year thing, I feel like that's probably somewhere it's gonna land is right around 5, maybe 6 years if they can squeeze one more out of him, but
Mhm.
it'd be I think 18.5, even 19, 20 at 5 years would be no matter what, it's gonna be worth it. It's Cale
Yeah,
Makar, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. I
um,
mean, you could thank Philadelphia and Daniel Briere for destroying the market.
right,
So, I mean, Leo Carlson is a great kid, great player. He's gonna be a phenomenal hockey player. In
yeah.
this league, he's one of probably the future. He's come right up there with, like, Macklin Celebrini,
Oh, yeah.
uh, Connor Bedard, and all those guys, those young players that are coming up, and maybe even a Gavin McKenna coming in now.
Mhm.
But he's only
Well,
worth about 12. So
yeah,
he got, like, a
exactly.
$6 million overpay. Like, what we talked about offer sheets, they on purpose, they do it.
Yeah,
But I don't
exactly.
think the thing is that my reason for saying I don't think Kale is comparing himself to that contract. Like, I don't even think he
No,
cares if he's gonna be the highest paid player,
no, probably
in the
not.
NHL, the highest paid defenseman. It is what it is. But I think, there's one thing I do wanna say, and I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me, but
Let's go.
I think that yeah, this is a hot take. And I know
Love
there's
hot
gonna be a
takes.
lot of pissed off people on what I'm about to say, but this is only my opinion.
Mhm.
Connor McDavid is a phenomenal hockey player. One of the
Yeah,
best
there's
on the
no
planet.
denying that.
He's top 3 on the world depending on who you wanna put in first, he's in the top 3 somewhere.
Right.
I would take him on my team any day of the week. I have nothing against Connor McDavid. I love him. I want him to win a cup. I was rooting for him in those Stanley Cup finals.
Mhm.
The only generational player in the league right now is Cale Makar.
Yep.
I do not think that McDavid is a generational player. I just don't.
Mm,
And it's
we had this
because of the
argument.
defense, because the
Right.
way it's not like it's not the problem is too, like, everyone's naming everyone like a generational player, like Macklin's a you can't toss
Yeah,
that around like it's water, dude. Generational, you're
right.
talking about like every 30 or 40 years, this player will come around.
Yeah.
The last time we saw a defenseman like Cale Makar put up numbers and to play the way he does,
Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr, dude.
That was what, 50 years ago?
There you go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I told everybody when Cale came into the league, I honestly didn't really know who he was either. Once he
Mhm. Yeah,
started
same.
playing about I think around, like, 2021, he came in the league
Mhm.
1920, 2019, 2020 season.
Yep.
He was rated the number 1 defenseman in the world, again, from
Mhm.
NHL Network, and everyone got pissed off about it. I read a couple of I'm over all that, but some of the comments were just absolutely
Just
atrocious. Like,
trash.
yeah,
Trash.
it makes me wanna puke.
Terrible hot take.
Yeah, totally. Like, they don't know anything about hockey. I'm sorry, but you don't.
Bunch of
Um,
Vancouver Canuck fans just being mad.
yeah, Edmonton fans, everyone. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Minnesota
god.
fans or whatever. But
Right.
I told everybody, I go, "Look, I wish I woulda" what do they call that when you copy your post? Whatever it
Oh,
is,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
like, "Get a
resend it
receipt for this
back.
post because 'cause I'm telling you, in about 5 years from now," this is like 2020, Cale Makar will be breaking records, and by the time he's 27, 28, maybe 29, the only records he would have to be breaking is the ones he already set,
Yep.
and he
And
already
we're
did
here.
it,
And we're here
and
now.
now we already did it.
Yeah.
So the only thing he has to do is get 100 points, and then he has all his accolades and, and
Right.
stuff like that, but I think Kale is the only generational player in the league right now. That's just my
Well, and I wanna
opinion.
touch on that real quick too, because I had this conversation back in 22 with Connor. Um, when we saw the Edmonton series back in 22, and it was, McDavid versus McKinnon. McDavid, that was how they were, advertising it and everything like that. But you saw in those 4 games, like, when Makar and McDavid were on the ice together, McDavid couldn't do anything.
No.
Cale Makar had him shut down. Like, I specifically remember one of the games, I think it was like game 2, game 3, if I'm remembering correctly. But McDavid was coming up against the far boards here, or the near boards here, just trying to break into the zone, and Makar just stuffed him right at the blue line. And
Yep,
every time he would get through the neutral zone, and Makar would just, nope, and just
yep,
done. He made him completely ineffective. And it's like, there's your argument right there. And you want to talk about generational talent. Everyone says, McJesus is the generational talent. He's the next coming of Gretzky, whatever. But he couldn't do anything in those 4 games because Cale Makar was on the other side of the ice just shutting everything down.
yep. Yeah, that's the whole point with the Kale McCarr contract. Like, he is the only in my opinion, My opinion only. He's the only generational player in the league because you can't name 5 guys
Right.
right now generational. It doesn't even make sense. It's might as well
No.
just have everyone just go to the Hall of Fame. Just send everyone to the
Well,
Hall of Fame.
yeah, right?
You score
It's
2 goals,
express lane.
Riker, go to the Hall of Fame, Riker with 13 goals, Paul
Hey,
Bissonnette, his total of like 16 goals and
Riker
like
would love
45.
that.
Yeah, right? I know, right? I love that guy. But anyways,
He's the
what I'm
best.
trying to say is like, I'm looking at it from like, I'm not trying to like disrespect Edmonton fans or even Connor McDavid because he's just a fucking phenomenal hockey player. I watch Edmonton just to watch him. I don't
Yeah.
care about the rest of the team. I don't care about Draisaitl. He's 10 times better than Draisaitl. That
Right.
will ever be. And it's just I just I've seen that before recently what he's doing.
Mhm.
You could even say like Mario Lemieux in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then McDavid comes even with Gretzky. And then
Yep.
McDavid comes around. It's not generational. It's only a
Well,
15,
even like Sergei
25-year
Fedorov in the
gap.
2000s.
I'd say that.
Well, like Fedorov, Sakic in the 2000s,
Yeah. I mean, I
you
don't think
know?
they weren't generational. They weren't considered generational. They
But,
were
I mean, you're
considered
seeing the
elite
same stuff that
superstars.
yeah, that McDavid was doing. Like, they were, yeah, super, highly elite, star players,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a different opinion on Connor McDavid, and it's
I know
not
you do.
because of anything he does on the ice. Again, all the respect in the world to Connor McDavid. There's nothing I can take away from what that guy can do with a puck. And it's not it's his mentality that drives me crazy. Like I always reference back to football because of, how much knowledge I have on that too. But like he reminds me so much of Tom Brady, like in terms of like that I guess press mentality. He
Mhm.
just seems like when things don't go right, there's a level of lack of sportsmanship that bothers the hell out of me. So again, just being a hater on that,
Mhm.
but it always bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Especially
say
being
that. I mean, a lot of people will disagree, and that's fine. If you
yeah,
guys
no,
think, if every people think that he's a generational player, that's cool. I have
eh,
no problem with you thinking that at all. I just
sure.
don't think he's generational because we've seen his type of player come around a couple of times in the last 20 years,
Yeah,
25 years.
exactly.
Pavel Bure, he was doing shit like him, you know, and
Paul another one too.
yeah, Pavel Bure, Timu Solani.
Yeah,
I mean, those guys were just those guys. I
Lonnie
mean,
was
I think
amazing.
The Timu Solani scored like 76 goals in his first year.
Something like
His
that,
rookie
yeah.
year, he scored like 76 goals for like Winnipeg, I think it was. I
Dude
think he
was
played for
nuts.
Winnipeg. He's crazy, dude. You're never gonna see that again, ever. What rookie's gonna score 76 goals in
Exactly.
1 year?
Nope. 132 points in 93. 92, 93. That was insane.
Was that for Winnipeg, right?
Yeah, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 76 goals? Was I right with that? I thought it
76
was like
goals. Yeah,
yeah,
76 goals.
76. That's the year I was born, so I
That's a
always remember
good
that shit.
memory.
That's the year I
No,
was born. But
it's
yeah, I
nuts.
mean, I again like Cale Makar, if he gets 20, I have
Mhm.
no fucking problem with that.
Yeah,
I don't. I
he's
just
worth
don't.
every penny.
Is Connor McDavid worth 20? Yes. As a forward, yes.
Sure.
What he could do, I absolutely agree. He's worth 20 million. But Cale Makar, if they could go over the cap, I think Cale Makar right now is worth about 24, 25 million a year.
I was just gonna say
Oh, if you
25.
want, if you can go over a little bit, he's probably
Right.
worth that. He's just, I don't, I don't want to argue with people about it, but I
Yeah.
just think he's the only real generational player in the league. And I'm not trying to be biased because we're an Avs fan. You could have asked me 10 years ago, I would have told
Right.
you the Avs suck. Like they
Right.
fucking
Oh,
suck. They
100%.
suck shit at this point. I
It's the
mean,
reason that we got Cale Makar in the first
yeah.
place. Let's be
Yeah. I
honest.
mean, it's
How
just, I
bad
mean,
the Avs were.
it is what it is. We just happen to have him and we should be all be grateful. Kale McCarr,
Exactly.
you're not going to see a defenseman like this
Mhm.
for a very, very long time.
I mean, if
This
history is
guy,
any proof, it's gonna be another 50 years before we get another Cale Makar. It's
absolutely, dude. I
sad.
mean, Matthew Schaefer's going to be a stud. He's not going to put up Kale McCarr
Right,
numbers. He's
right.
not going to get all
No,
those things. He's just not. I don't think he
no,
is. I just don't think it's just like it's a cycle. I don't think he's
no.
gonna get all that. I'm not saying he's a bad player either. I just don't think he's gonna reach
Mhm.
those numbers. Like, Cale McCarr won the fucking Conn Smythe, the
Yeah,
Norris, and the Stanley Cup in 5 days.
Yeah.
9 days. He won all 3 awards. You're not gonna, he's just an unbelievable hockey player overall. And if you were a GM and I
Mhm,
gave you the first pick, you could pick anybody you want in their prime or whatever the fuck you want in this league
mhm.
right now, the first over, and you don't pick Cale Makar, I'm firing you.
Well,
It's
it's
plain and
funny,
simple.
right? So I like to do franchise mode on NHL,
Mhm.
the game, right? And so it's fun to do like just a mock draft from there.
Yeah, I do
Every
that too.
single time, the first 2 guys that get picked are McDavid and Makar. Every
Yeah,
time. Every
yeah.
single time.
They should be
It's
number 1 and number 2
yeah,
in that order.
100%. But
Yeah,
also to the point with, like, the McDavid versus Makar argument here, I think it's kind of a bit of a different scenario. Like, is McDavid worth 20,000,000? For sure, for sure.
yeah.
What he does on
He
the ice
definitely
is
is.
unquestionable.
Yeah,
But also their situations are so different, not just because of their positions, but because of their teams.
yeah,
Without McDavid, Edmonton has nothing, and that's not to take away from Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl is for sure an elite talent
oh,
player.
yeah, yeah.
He is absolutely phenomenal, not taking anything away from him. But that team runs through McDavid.
Mhm.
With the Avs, yes, Makar is next world player. McKinnon, next world player, right? Elite. I'm not even gonna say generational, but just absolutely elite. That quiet workhorse elite player.
Mhm.
But that's not all they have. We had Miko for a long time. We had,
Yeah,
Choo Choo, like Landy, um, Lecky. Like they have pieces around them to support it. What does fucking Edmonton have? Darnell Nurse?
yeah, but that's not McDavid's fault, unfortunately.
No, it's not.
That
It has
GM
nothing to
is
do with
ran that shit fucking,
right.
I mean, it
But
was horrible
that's the
what they
difference
did to that
between the
team.
teams, right? Is
Right, right.
Edmonton can get away with acquiring subpar talent because they have Connor McDavid.
Yeah,
Whereas Colorado does not rest on the laurels of their elite talent to get
right,
shit done in the same way.
right.
Like, yeah, for sure, they rely heavily on McKin McKinnon and Makar for
Oh, yeah.
a lot of the offense, but it's not
Right,
the only thing. There
right.
there are always going to be pieces around it. I mean,
Mhm.
we can even have that argument with Malinsky with the way he's stepping up.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, he's
Makar,
becoming a
like,
top 4 defenseman in the league right now. Like,
exactly.
he could be on any team and play in the top and be the top 2 pairing.
Yeah, you give him you put him to, a bottom half team and he'd be a
Mhm.
top pairing defenseman,
Yeah.
hands down.
So I
You
see
know?
what you're saying. So, like,
Yeah.
like, if they lose McDavid,
Mhm.
it's probably just about over
Yeah,
because you're
if they
losing
lose McDavid,
so much product. Uh,
they're gonna be in 6th place in the Pacific.
right, because he brings so much to the team. He
Mhm.
produces so many points
Yeah.
game after game after game that if you take away 2 points per game from his percentage, you're
Yeah.
gonna lose a lot of them.
Yeah.
Makar, if he gets hurt, yeah, it's definitely gonna make a big difference, but
Yeah,
it ain't
it's
the end
hard.
of the world for Colorado because they do have
Right.
players. They could still win games. Un I think Edmonton has a really good team this year compared to what they've had, and
Yeah.
what
I
I
think
mean,
their
it's not the
goaltending's still
best.
severely lacking, but
Yeah,
that's a different
we'll talk
they
about that when we do the predictions for the standings when we do it before the season starts, but
Mhm.
I do agree with you that McDavid the McDavid and Makar thing, I think those are the 2 best players in the world right now. McKinnon's
Oh, yeah.
probably 3rd. Um,
Yeah. It's rough.
and then you can go with, like, Kucherov and then,
Mm.
Macklin Celebrini, and maybe not Macklin yet. Let him a couple of more years. If he keeps
Getting
on
there.
producing 100 points a year, then he's up there. He's top 5.
Yeah. He's for sure a
I could
top,
yeah.
I wanna say top 30, but I'd even argue maybe top 15 player.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's in the top 15, I think. Just the I mean, he's so young, he's already 100 points. He was already a Hart Trophy, Hart
Yeah,
finalist and stuff like that, or being,
exactly.
uh,
But
he's
yeah.
gonna be awesome, dude. But, I with Makar's contract
Mhm.
overall, to answer everyone's question, it does depend on the term. Now, this is now the part that's kinda scaring me is they
Mhm.
have the money.
Yeah.
He might not sign for the 8 years then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if Elliot Freeman's reporting they already have the money set, but they
Mhm.
don't have the years, it's probably gonna be 5 years like Connor said,
Yeah.
Connor predicted this. It might be you too, I think. I said 8 years. I think you and Connor both predicted that he might go out and get what he can, because if he signs for 8 years, he'll be like 34, 35.
Yeah, he's 27 now, as of today. So he'd be
Okay.
35
So
after
35. So
next.
he might not be as productive if he would be like 32, 31 years old, but if he does a
Right.
5 year. And he, instead
Mhm.
of getting like maybe 25, 27 million, he might get 20, 23 million. These guys are trying to make their money, but trying to stay with their teams at the same time. I get it. I mean, go get your money.
Yeah.
I have no
Right.
problem
Well,
with that. It's just that I just wish not wish, I know that probably like the way the trending's going with these contracts that you're going to see short term,
yep.
but the player's going to, the player's most likely going to resign with that team, but he's just going to resign with more cap space to go, so he can make a little bit more
Right.
money. These guys are at the end of the, Makar is 30. Let's say
Curious.
he signs for 5 years. He's 30, 32 years old. He's on the back end of his career now. Another 3 or 4 years, and he could play just as long as 37, 38. We don't know.
Right.
But right now we're projecting, let's say 35 is like his last year, 35 years old. Like he can get like a 3 year deal for like $25 million. By that time, the cap is going to be like in the 130 million,
Right.
140 million. So,
Mm, Here's an interesting caveat to add to this equation too. Again, because like all these pieces add into it, right? Because the players are
mhm,
thinking about this, and the agents obviously are thinking about price and term, but front office is also trying to think about stuff like this. Like
oh
McKinnon's
yeah.
30 right now, so let's just thought experiment. Let's say that the term is 5 years, kind of the number we've been resting on, right? That'll
Mhm.
mean that McKinnon is going to be on the back half of his career at that point. Like he's going to be on his way out,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
because he'll be, yeah. If and by then Landy will be retired for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's gonna be Makar being in like that, Landy McKinnon, like Sidney Crosby role at that point.
Yeah.
So it
That
makes
it is
sense.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. Him and
So it would
Natchez would
make
be like the face of the team at that point.
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So it would make the most sense to sit at like a 5 year to get to squeeze the most we can out of McKinnon, out of Landy, out of Makar's prime, out of
Yeah.
Necas's prime, which I don't know why I kept forgetting Necas's name too.
Mm.
But get those best years for the next five, and get a cup, maybe if we're lucky, two.
You make an excellent point by just saying that, dude. Like
Yeah,
Makar might be thinking like, I can make my money. Me and Marty are going to be like we're going to be the leaders of this team.
yeah,
Probably a captain. Makar will probably wear the C. Natchez will probably wear an A at that point.
yep,
We don't know what's going to happen. Who comes into through the loop through the AHL at that
yeah,
point. Talking
exactly.
about 5 years from now. But yeah,
Hmm.
McKinnon will be like in his last year, probably one of
Yeah,
his last 2 or 3
yeah,
years.
3 years, yeah, probably.
Landeskog will probably be retired at that point.
Yep,
Um, so yeah, you could just say like, I'll take this money now. Let's build more cup contending teams while
yeah,
we have McKinnon in his
exactly.
prime, because the team drives through McKinnon.
Yep.
So, you have him in his prime right now. He's still going to be in his prime for another 2 or 3 years. I mean, he's going to
Oh
be
yeah.
by 33. He's still going to be scoring. He's going to get over 100
Oh,
points easily,
100%.
easily.
Yeah,
He's not going to slow down. I think until he's about 35 years old. But
exactly. And that right at the end of that contract.
so you make an excellent point, because it makes sense. And we could probably want to end it here, because I think that's perfect what you said, dude, to end the
Exactly.
conversation right there.
No,
5 years from Makar, I'm going to say like 17 and a half.
no. I'm still sitting on that 18.5. Just because I think I think anything over like 3 million in terms of team discount is going to be hard.
Why don't you
Anything
just
any or anything around 3 million.
go 18-9.
Okay.
One more 100,000 in Macklin,
Yeah. There you go.
you know?
18.9
Yeah.
and a bunch
Or
of
eight.
interesting advertising
Yeah. I,
contracts.
I
We can go
said
over the one
originally
with
18-8.
him and Landy. That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Right. I said 18-8 just because of his number, like the point
Yep.
eight being like his number, and at eight
Mhm.
years, I had that for 8 years. So,
Right.
but
Well, I would
I
honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if he cares about being higher than Macklin or Carlson
I
at
don't
this
think he
point.
does.
Yeah,
He knows who he is, dude. These players aren't
exactly.
gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm not the best." Yeah, I really don't look at that way. Yeah, dude, you watch yourself every day. I would.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
That McKinnon goal that he scored against St. Louis in Game 5, whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
that from he went from the I watch that almost every
Yeah,
day just
blue
to
line.
watch it. Just to watch it against St. Louis in the playoffs that 2020. That's one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I still see reels of Makar's fucking spin move on Chicago.
Oh my,
That was
every
like
all the
6
time, dude.
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not even. Well,
That
it was
was
like 4 years ago. Sorry, yeah,
well,
4 or 5
it
years
was the
ago.
2022 season. That was a magical season
It's
for
just
us, dude. Everything. For me
yeah,
personally too.
it's like
So,
every single year I see it at least once. Like
yeah.
that doesn't tell you like what kind of crazy talent this dude has. I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay, so let's meet in the middle. We'll predict
Mhm.
because people are posting how much we're gonna. I think let's go
Yeah.
18.8
Okay.
or 18.9. I'm gonna say 18.8. We'll tie with Macklin
Okay.
because of his number for 5 years.
Uh, yeah.
That'll be
18
fun.
18.75 for 5 years. We'll meet in
That'll
the
be
middle.
fine because yeah, and like next year you have like $32 million right now in cap space, but if you take that 18, now you're looking around close to like 17 or 16 mil. It's still a lot of money.
Oh
We have
yeah.
a lot of guys still signed.
Yep.
You know, we still have Brock Nelson signed the next after this season.
Kadri still
Kadri.
signed.
You
Yep.
know, the only guys that are going to be free agents next year, I think, are going to be like
It's
Wah,
Lecky and Wedgwood.
Lecky, and Wah in Wedgwood. Yeah, those are like the three guys off the top of my head. Maybe a couple of more guys, but still,
Yeah.
it's not
Oh,
bad.
is it Josh Manson or does he's
I
good
think
till
he's got
28?
one more. I think he's got like 1 or 2 more years.
Yeah.
I don't think his contract. I think this is his first year of his new contract, the 3.9 or the
Is it?
2.9. Is it 3.9?
Let's
3.
see. His contract's for 27, 28.
Okay.
So yeah, he's got this. Yeah, so after next season, he'll be
Okay.
free agent.
So
If they
after
don't
this season on July 1st, he could re up if he wants. He'll be on his last year. Okay.
exactly, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
So yeah, we're pretty good, dude. As far as a team, like this is like this is the crazy part is like everyone's like, well, let's go out and get some guys. Let's go out and get some guys. We have everybody. We
we
got them
have
all.
got right,
You know, we don't need to go out and get guys right now. We have what we just need role players. You know,
exactly,
we need Natchez to shoot. We need Natchez to be the sniper. And
exactly.
we
We
do,
just
dude.
need
He's
scoring.
Nate Marty. If you're watching this, please, Marty.
Just
I
shoot
love
the
you, dude.
puck.
You're one of like the you're just a dynamic player. Please shoot the fucking puck. I don't care if
Exactly.
Nate's gonna get mad at you in the locker room. Just
Yeah.
put your head in the locker, cover your ears like we're doing here. Just shoot it, dude. He's got such a damn good shot.
Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the Brett Kulak goal that he assisted on.
Oh, dude.
That was just gorgeous, gorgeous.
All my neighbors had to be walking up. I live in an apartment
Oh
and we have
yeah,
walls of like concrete, like 6
yeah.
feet
You
of
got
concrete.
tissue
They had to
paper
wake
wall.
up. Oh my God, dude. I never
Well,
yelled so fucking loud.
dude, it was so amazing, so worth it. But to the
It,
point though, as beautiful as that goal was, and it was set up, Nisha's had a wide open net to shoot at too. And it's
yeah,
like when you get those opportunities, don't think pass. Just think shoot. Just
right,
goal. Goal.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let
You know,
McKinnon
the
and
thing is
McCarr go.
too, with Nature's point of view,
Mhm.
that defenseman might have been coming in and be too quick, and there was really no one to get a rebound. They think so quick, Hodge.
Oh yeah.
These guys are like inhuman when they're on the ice. They're not human anymore. They're cyborg. They're on skates. Like they're downloading. Like they could see if you look at everyone never puts their head down ever,
Right.
ever.
I would be really interested to see how many hockey players have ADHD, to be completely honest, with how quick they think and talk and move, like
And
how
Nathan
fast.
McKinnon has to have it, dude, because he's
Yeah.
so fast with decisions.
Or, like just like the amount of neurodivergence in hockey would be an interesting thing to kind of see.
It'll probably get you. If you don't have it, you will get it at
Oh
some
yeah.
point in your
Right.
career. You know what I'm saying? But
You
no,
gotta
I just
figure out
think,
how to move that brain faster.
yeah,
But
I think
yeah.
Marty has to be the sniper. Kale is going to be Kale.
Right.
I think he's going to win the Norris next year. I think he had a down year this year. Big deal. He got hurt a couple of games, whatever.
Yeah, I mean it
You know,
happens, but
it's he's the best. He's the best player in the world, in my opinion.
yeah, hands
Overall,
down.
as a skilled hockey player, he's the best player on the planet. His position and what he does in his position.
Oh
And that's
yeah,
just my
I
opinion.
don't disagree at all. He's offensively incredible for a defenseman. He's
Yeah,
unparalleled as a defenseman.
yeah.
You know, I
A
don't.
lot of people look over his defensive skills because of his offense, but if you go look at tape, he's not the best defensive defenseman on in the world or in the league. I
Right.
think like Maurice Sider and Slavin, all those guys are
Sure.
really awesome defensemen.
But
But
let's be
he's
honest. Like,
sound.
who are we talking about? Like, when it comes to best defenseman in the league, right? We're talking about Jack Hughes, Cale Makar, Zach Rowinski, which I have to eat those words every day now for the rest of my life, which is fun. But like, these guys are phenomenal players. But I would argue like Jack Hughes has similar talent offensively
Quinn
as
Hughes, right? Quinn.
or sorry, Quinn Hughes. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. There's
I'm
another
trying to
reel for
correct
you.
you. I don't want anyone to say anything in the comments.
Fucking there's too many Hughes brothers, all right?
I know,
Just
I know.
put them all on New Jersey, so I just like the Hughes guys.
Yep.
Yes, Quinn Hughes, thank you. God, that's fun editing. Um, but yeah, Quinn Hughes is similar, if not the same, offensive talent as Makar, right? But I think where Makar has, is head and shoulders above him in terms of talent. It's like his defensive prowess is just next level by
Yeah.
comparison. Not to take anything away from Quinn, but Makar's just that much better.
He You know what separates Makar from all the other defensemen if we're gonna look at his skating agility ability?
Yeah.
His skating, his slash agility, he
Hmm.
skates, his skating. I mean, people don't like him because 'cause they're not on his team.
Sure.
Everyone likes saying, "Oh, Kale sucks. So overrated. Kale McCarr's
Yeah.
overrated. When he goes on your team, now you're sucking his dick.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying, dude? It's like, just be fair about it. He's the best
Well,
defenseman on the
let's
planet.
be
It is
honest.
what it is.
We saw that with Dallas, right? How many Dallas fans absolutely despised Miko Rantanen before he put a
I
star
know.
on the front of the
I know.
sweater?
I know.
And now look at it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
The
yeah,
only the only player from Dallas I would not want on Colorado, and I would continue to hate him even is Jamie Benn. Other than
oh,
that,
100%.
I don't care. I respect all the Dallas Star players because they're our main rival. They're all
Mhm.
excellent players. They're going to be competitive again.
Sure.
I'm so looking forward to playing those guys because it's such a good game every time.
I'm just looking forward to beating him every time. It's
Yeah,
so good. But
yeah,
I agree with you. I agree with you. I cannot stand Jamie Benn. I just
yeah. I
that
can't.
dude,
That's the one guy I just can't stand on Dallas. I'm sorry, Dallas fans, but I just can't stand him. I just can't.
he's a douche canoe if there ever was
Yeah.
one. I mean, yeah. But anyway,
Let's
we'll get
let's
on
get
to
to
Dallas.
goaltending because
Yes.
these guys,
But
there's a lot of people too, and I know goaltending's your thing, so you can
oh yeah,
go.
love it.
And we're gonna talk. Everyone's talking about some. If I could think of some of the questions, Hodge, I think they think that Wedgwood
Mhm.
and Blackwood are gonna be like that rotating goaltending again, which we already talked about, but we'll talk about it
Yeah,
now
we'll
again because
get back
I
into
want
it
to
with it.
answer their question. And
Yeah.
I didn't see anything about them being traded, but we did
No,
talk about it a
I have a
couple of
take
times.
on that though, and we
Yeah,
have talked about it before, but we'll bring
yeah.
it back up. Yeah.
So go
So,
ahead.
yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So a couple of the questions, right? Were a lot of the guys on the True Avalanche fan page were wondering who do we think is going to be, in net? Where do we think they're going to be with Nabokov, with Trent Miner? I personally think after last season with what happened with Blackwood, I don't think he ever fully recovered from that injury
I agree.
to be season ready. And
I
I
agree.
think that was part of why there was that tandem situation. It was a good coaching strategy on Bedsy to kind of keep him from getting too in his head. I mean, goaltenders are notorious for getting into their heads and
Let me
you
interrupt you real quick by saying that. I'm gonna let you go right back, but just to
know,
piggyback on what you said about Blackwood, it,
mhm,
believe it or not, like
mhm,
I've heard, like I didn't talk to players, but I've heard players talk about like when you
mhm,
miss training camp and all the things involving training camp, the practices because they're kind of different. You really
mhm.
can't get into a groove when you come in half. Look what happened with Jeremy Swayman
Yeah,
after his contract dispute. He came in like 13 or 14. He never went to training camp. Didn't really have
right.
a good year.
Yeah,
He kind of did. I mean, the thing is, Blackwood had a good season. He probably could have had better if he went through training. I just wanted to
I
point
agree.
that out. So go
No,
ahead.
and I agree with you. Yeah, training camp's huge. Like, I guess the best comparison, because it's been coming up in my life for whatever reason again lately, but is like the COVID year when all the kids kind of missed that class is like it hampered the development so much, and you can see that in kind of like a microcosm, if you will, with like missing training camp kind of really stunts your ability to play that
Yeah.
season. And I
Yeah.
think, between that, between the injury and just Wedgie having the career year that he did
Crazy.
was yeah, it's why he took it over.
Yeah.
But I think Blackwood's definitely gonna be the starter. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays 50 games this season.
Oh, me either.
Yeah.
Me either.
And, I still think the tandem's awesome. I think it's good for both guys.
Mhm.
Wedgie's just that dude who can come in calm, cool, collected, doesn't care game to game. Blackwood for sure needs to build a little bit more momentum,
Mhm.
but I think he's a better goaltender overall. And then, you know, as far as our AHL guys, I'm really interested to see because we almost have a similar situation going on now in the AHL that we do in the NHL with Nabokov coming in as this prize talent and
Yep.
Trent Miner really stepping into his role as just that workhorse of a goaltender. It's almost inverse actually
Yeah.
to Wedge Lackey, but I'm I'm gonna be keeping my eye on that especially because I I argue that Trent Miner is NHL ready. I think that dude could be a starter in the or at least a serviceable
A
or
serviceable backup for
yeah,
sure,
quality
without a
backup,
doubt, yeah.
you
He's
know,
Yeah.
um, working his way into starting for, a s I wouldn't be surprised if he actually ends up on Edmonton, knowing their goaltending woes,
It's
you
you
know?
make good points with all that, dude. I feel that, I feel like by the end of this season, by the end of next season coming up
Yeah,
this summer, as we're talking, our 2 goalies are gonna be Blackwood and Ibaka.
okay.
And,
That's an interesting take, I
and I
like
think the Wedgwood situation because of his value, the thing is if they were gonna trade him, they would have done it already. Because his
Right.
value saw they're not gonna wait to start a new season. He might suck next year. We don't know.
We don't know.
His numbers might double down, might double up. We don't know.
Right,
I think he's not gonna have like the season he had this year, but I don't think he's gonna have a bad season, you
right.
know?
No, I don't disagree, and we talked about this, I think, in the last pod with the bold predictions, if I'm remembering everything correctly.
Yeah, and uh
Oh,
the
yeah.
Atlantic tier too, we
And it
talked about Wedgwood, and I'll get into that with him when if you if I'll give the people here, the True Avalanche fan page, like
yeah,
some type of scenario trade with
right.
Wedgwood. So go ahead.
But I wouldn't like, we did talk about possibly Wedgie getting traded because his value last season, and I'm sure he's gonna have a bit of a drop off this season, like,
Yeah.
it's inevitable, right? You
It's
know
hard to do what he did and it's not gonna be a lot, but he will have a drop off.
Right. But I wouldn't be surprised if they actually end up not trading Wedgwood just because the chemistry between Blackwood and Wedgwood as a goaltender pairing is
It's uncanny.
so solid.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would
They're like blood brothers in the locker room, dude.
exactly. It's
Fuck
almost
yeah.
like when the Sedins weren't playing together, like, you have
Yeah.
to have those guys together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
To get the most out of them. Again, not to take away from either one of these guys. I think they're both, on their own fantastic goaltenders. But like together they balance each other out in the locker room and in the film room and everything like that.
Yeah.
That it makes sense to keep them together. So if we were gonna have any sort of goaltending trade, that's why I'm kind of leaning a lot more towards Trent Miner.
Oh, me too. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right with that.
Yeah.
If you're talking about like a regular scenario trade, Trent Miner would be part of a package. They're not
Yeah,
getting rid of
100%.
Nabokov. He's our
And
future
something with
goalie,
like
probably.
Lecky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, these general managers, they have to look. A lot of people, you know, look like just for this season, but general managers like Joe Sakic's looking like 3 years down the road right now,
Right.
and not even concerning We're talking about like who might be on the team. So if you take these 4 goalies, if you have Blackwood, Wedgwood, the
Mhm.
Nabokov, and Miner, right? Let's say I'm just going to say a one example just to get my point out.
Mhm.
You have Blackwood the starter, Wedgwood would be the backup,
Mhm.
and you have Miner and Nabokov in the AHL.
Right.
Trent Miner gets traded. Nabokov becomes the starter in the AHL.
Mhm.
This I'm talking about this season, like a
Right, right.
trade during this season.
Right.
I'm not even talking about the trade deadline. It might even be before that. We don't know yet because a
Right. It
team
depends on
might
how
need a
Nabokov
goaltender.
plays.
Right. A team might need a goaltender before
Mm,
the trade deadline even comes about. Like there was a
yeah.
couple of trades this year that just passed that were kind of big before the trade
Right.
deadline. Quinn Hughes was traded in October or November last year.
Yeah.
So my point is that maybe not maybe, but these general managers are looking at the roster to be like, okay, they're looking at value. You don't want
Right.
to get rid of Nabokov. He's such a high prospected talent of a goaltender.
Right. Well, I mean, even from a realistic standpoint, right? We don't know what Nabokov is yet. This is his first year in the AHL.
Yeah,
So, like, we have to. There's no point in getting rid of him, considering his prospect status, until we at
right.
least get, I'd say, 20 games out of him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and they're going to be probably fine. We're going to see him in the preseason,
Oh
probably
yeah,
all
for
maybe all 4 games, and he'll be. They're going to have to
sure.
rotate these goaltenders because they have so many of them right now, and there's only
Right.
4 preseason games. So you might see Nabokov play maybe 2 or 3 periods out of those 4 games,
Yeah.
maybe more. But to your point, I think that if you look at Blackwood and Wedgwood, okay, so let's say Blackwood's now the starter. We're getting into the trade deadline, right?
Right.
A team calls for a goaltender. Now you the thing is what's great about our goaltending right now,
Hmm.
and this is crazy to say because our goaltending was always been a problem for a while. We got
Yeah.
we got
Well,
3 goaltenders right now that could play in the NHL. Trent Miner's I know we only play 2, but he could back up Blackwood if Wedgwood gets traded.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And then like
Agreed.
if that trade goes down, you have to make sure that Trent Miner has a couple of games already in hand this season
Hmm.
to make sure. I don't think he's like a playoff goaltender right now. Like so my scenario would be
No.
like if a team like I'm gonna say Florida because they're like the only team I can think of that's really Stanley Cup contender with the
Yeah.
goaltending's a little shaky. Not a little, probably a lot. You got
It's very
Markstrom.
shaky.
It's very shaky, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say
Exactly.
like the end of February comes around, and they call up Joe and they're like, "Hey, we need a goalie. Are you ready? Are you willing to get rid of Wedgwood?" And
Right.
I said this in the last podcast. Now this is the best thing about being Joe Sakic's seat. You could be a total fucking asshole.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, you want Wedgwood? I get it. Give us
Yeah.
Lundell.
Yeah.
Give us your young star talent, that 23-year-old that's going to score 35, 40
So
goals a year for you. We
what do you
want
guys
him.
want?
Yeah. And the thing is, that's the thing. It's like, you don't give us Lundell, you're not getting Wedgwood because it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation for Joe Sakic if he gets to that point. But this year, he's going to have to become the dick because he's got assets. Now, if they want Trent Miner,
Hmm.
maybe we get some prospects. I don't know what you would get for Trent Miner. I don't know his trade value. But for Scott Wedgwood, someone with playoff experience and
Yeah.
everything, you could be like, look, we give us this guy because this is who we want, and
Right.
you'll get Scott Wedgwood. You're not going to give us him. You don't like, you don't buy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. No, and
And
that's the
just
thing. Is I mean, Sakic's so notorious for fleecing people anyway. So
and that's what
like,
Connor said in the last thing. He'll fleece them
exactly.
for a desperate team.
And
He'll fleece them.
if Jacob Markstrom ends up becoming the Jacob Markstrom that everybody knows he can be, right? Florida's gonna need another goaltender soon.
Yeah, and they're probably going
So,
to call to Scott Wedgwood, knowing
oh
that
yeah, 100%.
other GMs
But,
don't. They know the other players too. They know we got Nabokov. They know we got Trent
you know,
Miner in the works. They know
exactly.
that
Yeah,
like Wedgwood's
we have
expendable.
an abundance of riches. Richards. Sorry, I read and talk at the same time. We have an abundance of riches when it comes to goaltending.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, that makes Wedgwood and or Minor expendable, right?
absolutely. Both of them at that point. I mean, if you wanted to
Yeah,
get rid of both of them,
potentially.
you could.
Because we still have more guys in the slot too that then uh we didn't bring him up, but even Nikita Novoselov, I
Mhm.
think is how you say it, right?
Yeah,
Like, getting him. I'm sure if Nabokov was any uh case to show this, like, it's going to be a pain in the butt to get him out of Russia, but also at the same time, it's not like impossible. So you could possibly see those gears turning and getting him over here to start over in the NHL as a
Mhm.
backup if they know that a trade is on the horizon.
Right.
Um,
Now see, the only downfall about this is the other scenario that I think is probably gonna happen, and probably I would do it maybe just for this season. I know it
mhm.
unless something a package comes in for Scott Wedgwood
Yeah.
at the trade deadline, unless it's, like, absolutely, like, blown out of the water kinda thing, because 'cause you're gonna get a desperate team like Florida,
Mhm.
who's with that team is picked to go to the finals this year, come out of the East. With their
Right, yeah,
goaltending, they're
I
not
think
coming out
they're
of the East with that goaltending, right? You agree with that? They're not coming out of the East with that goaltender. They will get a new goaltender this
I
season.
look, I don't think Jacob Markstrom is as bad as some other people think. Looking at our other host who's unfortunately not here to defend himself right now.
He's pretty bad, dude.
Yeah, but
He's
he's
really not.
definitely not gonna get you through the playoffs. That
No,
dude can do decent season to
yeah,
get you into the playoffs, but
yeah,
beyond that, there is you have to have, and this kinda touches on a different topic we're gonna have later, but you have to have elite defense in front of him to save his ass.
yes, yes,
And
yeah.
so, I don't I cannot see Florida, especially with how they've been building their team for the last 10 years. I cannot see them sticking with Jacob Markstrom through the entire season. It's just not gonna happen.
No, and that's when they'll probably call for Scott Wedgwood. Like I was gonna say, if you don't get the package, if you don't get blown away, and the only reason
Mhm.
why I'm saying you don't get blown away is because what happens if we're doing so good, we get to the Stanley Cup Finals and something happens to Blackwood in Game 1 and he's out for the rest of the fucking series? Now you have
That
to
would
go with Trent Miner.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Do we
saying?
think
We
we can handle it? I don't
no,
have
well,
faith.
we don't know. I can't say no and I can't say yes. He hasn't proven himself to that point yet. He's
No,
only
he's
played 2
he's been
games
great the 2
in the
games that he's
NHL.
played in the
Yeah,
NHL, but I the playoffs are always such a different animal.
that's why they
Like,
call it the second season.
yeah, would I trust Trent Miner to be in net in the playoffs, especially like a Stanley Cup
Stanley
final?
Cup final. I'm just saying, like, we get
That
all that way and we don't have
that would
Scott Wedgwood
be the
anymore. We're
most
like,
terrifying scenario ever. Like, you're talking like
that's why
catastrophic.
I think they're gonna ride out Wedgwood unless you
Yeah,
get blown away by some type of deal. That's the only way
right.
you would trade Wedgwood if you
Yeah,
get blown away. Like if the Panthers offer Lindell, you take it. Because that kid's
right?
gonna be a fucking stud and he's only like 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
and he's
I don't know enough about their defensemen, but we need a defenseman.
the Panthers, they're old. They
Yeah,
had old defensemen. Yeah, they're
yeah,
all in
they
their
got
31 or
Forsling,
older.
Ekblad,
Yeah.
Mikula, Seth Jones.
They're all serviceable. They have a really good defense. They're just older. They're nothing worth trading for Wedgwood for. Put it that way.
Right. It would
You know.
have to be part of the package.
Yeah, you send with yeah. It won't be one for one with one of those
Get like
guys.
Lindell and like Seth Jones
Yeah,
or something like that
yeah.
for
Unless the trade package is blown like will blow you away. That will make your team better. Even knowing that if Trent Miner has to come into the playoffs and back up, we still got this guy out of the trade, so we still got a
exact.
good chance. That's when you do it. Other than that, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, that's why I'm
But
not even like bringing up an idea or a thought about, trading to Edmonton because they don't have any pieces that would be worth that package.
yeah, there's nothing. I mean,
Nothing's there.
Edmonton, that's the thing with Edmonton too. Like they have a pretty good team. I looked at their roster. I'm trying to get my standing predictions early so I can see what they're doing. Like Toronto, Edmonton, they don't have bad guy. They don't have it on paper, but their goaltending is just so bad. Looking at
It's
it, Now put it this way, Edmonton, real quick. I don't want to get into it, but
uh,
Edmonton, if they have a goalie, they have a goalie that's made of glass.
right.
He got a Stanley Cup ring last year,
Mhm.
but he's made of glass.
Freddie Anderson and Tristan
Yeah,
Jarry.
Freddie Anderson.
It's a
Freddie
scary.
Glasserman with a Glasterman. I don't know. They name him a nickname, but the problem is when he gets hurt, he's out for like 3 months. It's not a
Yeah,
week. It's month to month every time. Then you
yeah.
got to go with Christian Jarry, and Levi.
Yeah, I'm
Poor
not
Levi. He's going to be any other he for Edmonton. I don't want to get into Edmonton. We'll do it. We'll do it another
yeah.
day. I don't want to get
No, we'll
into it.
do a
I'm going to
whole
go
thing. Yeah, we'll do
crazy
that
with
later.
this Edmonton thing. But the for goaltending, I think it's gonna be the same. I think they're just gonna ride out this whole thing right here, Hodge, just until the end
Yeah.
of the season, and just let Wedgwood. He might sign up again, depending on how depending on how good Nabokov is.
Right. No, I don't disagree. And I would argue I can't argue, sorry, not argue, but, a part of my opinions too are from the fact that I also want Wedgwood to stay.
Huh,
I really like
me
Wedgwood.
too,
I
dude.
like his
He's
mentality.
awesome.
Yeah. I think he's good for the team.
He's excellent for the
You
team.
know he helps to anchor the that team in general, like, period, the end,
Yeah.
I think, just that he's very, like, the calm version of Landy, which I think we need as much as we can get just to balance out the intensity of McKinnon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Wedgwood's an excellent locker room guy. He's fun to
yeah.
have around. He's a good
Mhm.
community guy. Him and Blackwood are really they were teammates in New Jersey. So
Oh, yeah.
they
Yeah.
know each other
Oh,
for a while. So
yeah.
they
But
want to win, dude, and I wouldn't get rid of anyone to be honest, unless like I said, unless the package, the trade was absolutely like bonkers, like a bonkers
yeah.
fleece, you know what I'm saying, to make your team
Right.
better now and the future together. But I don't think anyone's going to get moved as far as the goaltending, just because of the fact in case something happens to Blackwood because he has a history of getting hurt.
Right.
And would it comes down to the question, like what people are asking in the True Avalanche post, like the game starting. I agree with you. I think Blackwood's going to get 50 plus games this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
If Blackwood Blackwood's best game of the season
Mhm.
was game 4 against Vegas.
Mhm.
He was absolutely fucking stellar.
I'm
So,
still so mad about the fact that we didn't start Blackwood sooner. We should like the after game 2, at the least, after game 2, Blackwood should have gotten the start.
yeah,
Like,
on the road for the 2 games or
yeah,
something like that. If you
yeah,
wanna do,
it
like, the road, yeah, yeah.
bothers the hell out of me how
It
little Blackwood got opportunity in the playoffs. I get Wedgwood had a career year. Wedgwood was on friggin' fire during the whole season, during the playoffs. I get it. But the reason why they were so good, the reason why Wedgwood was so good was because they were able to kind of leapfrog over each other game after game and made it amazing. And so, like, Bedsy just riding the hot hand thing, it feel like it bit us in the ass. Like, not to say that, the offense and defensive side too
yeah.
are anything to write home about, because
Well,
Vegas basically just absolutely dismantled us, unfortunately, in those 4
yeah,
games.
yeah. The
Even though
thing
it
is
was
with the
one.
goaltending, that goaltending tandem,
Mm,
Boston did the same thing in their
yeah,
historical year a couple years ago. But
right,
in the playoffs, they went with 1 guy all the way to game until game 7, they changed, and they
right.
still lost. So,
Yeah,
history says if you have a carousel goaltending like you're doing, like
yeah,
every other game or every 2 games, this guy
yeah,
gets 3, this guy gets 2, this guy gets 1, 1, 1,
yeah,
keep it like
yeah.
that through the
If
play.
you're gonna
I
yeah,
really thought they were gonna do that.
right. I agreed. It's like, if you're gonna do the tandem, then stay with the tandem.
Yeah,
If you're just gonna lean on one guy through, the 16 games that it takes to get to the cup, like, it's gonna fall apart. They haven't had that opportunity to play that many games especially at that intensity all season long, and you're just gonna expect, "All right, you're good. Go for
yeah,
it." Like, no,
yeah.
no, come on.
But
If you
dude,
got the tandem, take the tandem.
we won 49 regular season games this year, like, regulation games this season.
Yeah,
49!
yeah,
That's more than 50% of your
yeah,
wins come in regulation, and it's because they were
mhm,
doing that whole thing.
yeah,
Now, Wedgwood, honestly, maybe if it wasn't for his superhero shit going on in the beginning of the season, we might
mhm.
not be in this seat. We probably would have been like a 2nd or 3rd place team. We still would've made the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But he took this team to another level, and I get it. You go with the hot hand, but the problem is it's like being a coach in the playoffs, you gotta think about being a coach. Like you have these
Mm,
goaltenders, like who you gonna go with, and if you go with this guy, you're gonna get criticized. Either way, the coach is gonna get criticized.
sure. Yeah,
It's
there's
a
a
chance
no-win
you take.
scenario as a coach, right? I mean, that's
Yeah,
why they were calling for Betsy's head at the beginning of the offseason, right?
yeah.
It's like, because
Excuse me.
I disagree with that completely.
Oh yeah,
I think
he's
that Jared Bednar is the coach for the Colorado Avalanche.
yeah.
It
He's gonna get re-upped in the middle of the season. Watch, he's gonna get
Oh,
re-upped
yeah,
for
for
2 more
sure.
years.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's very rare a coach goes throughout the season on a
yeah,
1 year left. They usually have at least another year after. You know that, right?
Exactly.
There's no coaches have like every coach that you see right now has at least another year except for Bednar. The only
Mhm.
coach that went through that last season was the guy who won with the Capitals, I believe. Who was the guy who
Oh,
won the Capitals
I
with?
don't remember.
I forget
Oh
his
my
name,
god.
but that was his last year, and he won a cup and he didn't come back. But it's very rare for a coach to go throughout the season being on the last year of their contract. So he's probably gonna get re-upped easily.
Right.
Another year. He might even get a year, maybe 2 years. I don't I would be surprised if it doesn't happen before the new year.
Yeah. No,
New Year
I would
start.
be honestly, I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen before the fucking start of the season.
That could be, yeah, possibly, dude.
Oh.
He's the only coach in the league right now that's available that could
Mhm.
coach this squad.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
You're
Well,
not bringing in anybody else to do it. You're
that's my
not.
argument against getting rid of him, is, like, who else are you gonna get?
Yeah.
We don't
I have
have
like
nobody else
it,
on the market. What, are we gonna go back to Patrick Waugh?
I didn't argue with anyone on the True Avalanche page, but like we should get rid of Bednar. I'm like, okay, who are you gonna bring in?
Exactly.
No answer.
Who else
I
you
mean,
got?
I don't mind debating with you. I don't mind like I don't want
Yeah.
to argue with people, but you want to
Yeah,
debate, I'm good with all that. We
but
could do that all night, dude.
but
But if
bring a debate, not
give
just
me
get rid of
something.
them.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
because
So
give me something. I said Mason Marchment would have been a great pickup for the Avalanche this year just to bring that scoring touch and that physicality, but everyone's like, "No, he sucks." Why? Because you hate him? You don't
yeah,
He sucks
basically.
because you hate him. It doesn't make any sense. He had more points than Nichushkin, I think, this year. So
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like some of the people here, I love you. I love everyone. I have respect everybody. But if you're gonna
Mhm.
say something to me, bring something. Give me some stats. Make me think about it. Make me have go on
Right?
the internet, Google it. Because
Bring a
I
yeah,
it just doesn't. But Bednar is probably going to be re-up for another year, minimal,
least. Yeah.
at least. So
So
that takes care of that question. If that question was asked, I don't know. I didn't even read it,
right?
but I'm sure it
Whether it
probably
was or
was.
not, we still have an
But
opinion on it, that's
there
for sure.
really isn't any. If there were coaches out there that could take care of this team, I would do it. It depends who it is, but Bednar's the only guy right now, dude. He's a
Yeah.
player's coach.
Well, and I can't trust Dave Haxtell or Nolan Pratt to take over for him
No,
either.
they're not going
Like,
to take
nothing
over,
against,
dude.
again, like, I need to see Dave Haxtell do something with the friggin' power play before I'd trust him to take over for coaching.
Yeah, he wasn't really a great coach in Seattle as it was, but he
Yeah.
got that one
He's
year
good
at the
enough to
Stanley
beat
Cup.
us.
But
That
they've been
that's
nothing
it.
since. Yeah.
Exactly.
That one
So,
year they beat us and they almost beat Dallas. But I'm gonna say something, and now we're
yeah.
talking about coaches. I hope Bednar stays, and the
Mhm,
next coach of the Avalanche will be
mhm.
Gabriel Landeskog when he retires.
That would be I'd be
You
down with
got to
that.
see him behind the bench, dude. I could totally picture him in a suit and a tie behind the bench.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
respect he would get.
how many Avalanche players now are coaches, right? We had
A
Wall,
lot.
we had Tanguay,
Adam Foote.
Foote. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Heinold.
Yeah.
Alex Tanga. We got a
Earl
lot of
Earl
guys.
Pinote, as I used to
Yeah.
call him back
Yeah.
yeah. I would take Landy as a coach. I
Ian
feel like
LaPerriere was a coach, was an assistant coach at some point. Ian LaPerriere.
yeah.
Yep.
So, like, if, 3 years down the road, Landy retires, takes a
Hmm.
year off, gets his does his family stuff, right, and comes back as maybe he sits down as the Eagles coach or offensive coach for the Eagles and works his way up. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that 100%.
Oh,
That'd be awesome.
he'll go right to the head coach of the Avalanche, dude. He'll run that fucking team like there's no other tomorrow. The respect he would get from those players.
Oh, yeah. He would be the premier players coach for sure. Just the way that, like, he is for like one top 5 captains in the league,
Yeah.
hands down. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he would be right up there with coaches. But
Gabe is
yeah.
one of my favorite players that ever
Mhm.
played hockey, but if we're talking about Colorado, he's probably like my favorite
Yeah.
more than I like Forsberger, Sakic, McKinnon, Makar. Landy was just he's just it's amazing what he does for this team.
That guy.
It's unfucking
That
real what
guy.
he does for this team.
Yeah.
He is the best captain in the entire league. I just think he is. It's what he does. It's
I'm
great
not gonna say
captains
he's
in
the
this league. Sidney
best.
Crosby's great.
Yeah.
Ovechkin, all
Yeah.
those guys. Even McDavid,
I
great,
mean,
all great captains, dude.
I put him in the same category as Sidney Crosby, and that in and of itself
Yes,
is all
yes,
you gotta say.
yeah. Ovechkin and
Yeah.
there's a lot of long term, lot of captains have been
Mhm.
He's been the captain, what now, 13 years? Going his 13th season,
Yeah, I
Randy?
think something like that. I forget when he was I know he's the youngest captain ever, or he was
Yeah,
the youngest
19 at the
captain ever.
time, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
he's only the 4th captain in Colorado history. It's only been
yeah,
Sakic, Foote, Hayduke, and Landeskog have been the only
yeah,
captains with Colorado Avalanche. So I could see him totally becoming the coach. So,
for
I
sure.
hope that answered, like, the questions, man. I mean, really, it's hard with Wedgwood. I think the main question was, I think one of them was you already answered that we took right off the top is when
Yeah.
I forget who it was. We gotta get their names because we gotta give them credit. But
Oh,
when
yeah.
Connor comes back, we'll give credit. Don't worry, we'll give credit to
Sorry,
you.
guys. Yeah, we'll make sure to
Yeah, we
to
were
shout out.
unprepared because Connor couldn't make it. He
Like,
had to call an
this
absence.
goes to show kind of where our our positions are in the podcast. Connor kinda does
I mean, I
all
could
the
do it. I was
technical
just doing
stuff in the
shit.
background.
But, to
I'm
answer
just
your
here for,
questions yeah, to
you
answer
know
your questions, Cale Makar, I think me and Hodge will even it at 18.8 for 5 years, and,
yeah.
Wedgwood and Blackwood will be the goalie tandem for the whole season. I think I don't think Wedgwood's gonna go anywhere. I don't think enough
No,
package is gonna
I
come.
think yeah, I think
Wedgwood's gonna be
Blackwood
more Wedgwood's gonna be more valuable to the team than it would be coming. And the same thing with, like, that's why real quick, like, everyone's like, "Maybe we should trade Kadri." Like, but he's just more valuable for Colorado than you would getting anything back,
I have an
you
argument
know?
against that, but we can get into that in another pod.
Yeah, we'll
So,
get into it,
that'll
but
be a fun part or a
I have
fun
to look,
pod.
there might be some Kadri questions too and everything like that, but I do agree with you, Hodge. I do think that Blackwood will be the starter, and if he plays the way he played in game 4, even though we
Oh, yeah.
lost, he was by far the best Avalanche on the ice that night. And,
This is
that's
like the
the
only
way
one
Blackwood actually that's you come to think about it, was that, like, maybe the first game he was actually 100% healthy?
probably. I wouldn't be
He didn't play
surprised.
like that all season. That guy, he was stellar.
Yeah.
Absolutely stellar.
I think if we can get the majority of play out of him for like that for the season, we're right there.
Yeah,
1, 2 seed
yeah.
will be
He's
great.
gonna be a
That's
Vezina. I think Connor's right. I think Blackwood if Blackwood plays like he did, he doesn't have to play you can't play like that every game.
no,
All you
obviously
have
not.
to do what he
Great.
did in that game yeah, what he did in game 4 is a simple thing that, the guy in the DNVR used to say it all the time. He's not there. He used to play for the Avalanche. I forget his name.
Right,
He's,
yeah, yeah. That's I love
uh,
that guy. Fun listen
he
to it, but
said
yeah.
a goalie, all he has to do is make the saves and then some. That's it.
Yeah.
That's like a 25 save night. That's what Blackwood did tonight. Do you believe Blackwood if any other goalie was in net for us that night, that game could have been 6-1.
Yeah. Well, at the
Like,
end of the day, there's like 5 big saves that a goaltender has to make in any game. So
yeah, they
really
don't have to be tremendous, but by like game changing saves. Like
yeah,
that would change the game around
exactly.
and stuff like that, right? Like
Yeah.
to make it like
No.
instead of like a 2-0, instead of it being 2-0 and now it's 1-1 because your team just scored 5 minutes after you made that big save.
Right.
You know?
How
Like
often does that
you liking the goalies, you probably tell your girlfriend, like I tell mine, like I'm just like,
happen?
remember that save he made at the
Nope.
10:58 mark. Remember that save he made, and then
Oh, I think, like, at least half the reason why she's such a Wedgwood fan is because constantly just bringing up how amazing he is as a goaltender, and then, yeah, all
he's
that
awesome,
stuff.
dude. He's great. He
He's
had a great
great.
the
Yeah.
team we have, we're
Mhm.
set. We're good to go, dude. And
Exactly.
I think everyone has their role. I think the pieces that we moved out had to be moved out at the time. We got a good chunk back as far
Mhm.
as assets. We used our draft picks. Now we built back up our pool again. We have a pretty good prospect pool. It's not
We're
great.
we're
It's like a
getting there, for
B,
sure.
C plus B, I would
Yeah.
say. But our top guys, TJ Hughes, Gavin
Mhm.
Brindley, those
Yep.
guys, dude, they're gonna be something. Taylor Makar, I'd
Yeah.
predict that Taylor Makar's after Nicholas Waugh maybe moves on after this season,
Mhm.
that's gonna be Taylor Makar's spot. They're the
Yeah,
same player,
yeah,
like
it'll
four
be
C or
good.
something, you know?
If he can make that jump, that next level, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised to see him on
He
the
gets
4th line
better every
next few
year. He
years.
gets better every
So,
year, and they just re-sign him, so they see something in him.
yeah, I mean, he clearly obviously
Yeah.
he's not his brother, but he's
Yeah,
still a I mean, you gotta think you play, street hockey with a guy like Cale Makar growing up, You got
Gotta
to
have
take
some
something
type of
away
hockey
from it.
skill. Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
'cause you gotta compete against them, so you're doing something good.
Right,
But,
exactly. But to that, we'll go ahead and I'm gonna cut it a little short here, and
yeah, we'll wrap it up, that's fine.
that answers everybody's questions. And if not, we'll circle back with the at a later date. But
Yeah, we're gonna come back this weekend, and we'll get more questions in. We just gotta go through them a couple more times and stuff like that, so we'll get your questions in, guys, trust me.
exactly. But until
Yeah,
then, guys,
good.
it was absolutely fantastic. We appreciate everybody giving us some questions to answer, and hopefully you like our answers. I'd love to see in the comments what everyone
Definitely.
thinks. So
Thanks,
until
guys.
next time, later.
Later.